Hey guys, thanks for tuning in again today. I'm going to be doing a solo review on Deep Star 6. Now, if you guys haven't heard of it, it's a movie that came out in 1989, so today we're doing a Wayback Flashback. Talking about the movie. So, this movie I watched when I was a little kid, way before I saw The Abyss, which came out the same year. So, The Abyss was directed by James Cameron. And 1989 seemed to be the year for all these underwater films. You had films like The Abyss, you had Deep Star 6, you had The Rift, you had Leviathan, The Lords of the Deep, all of them which bombed dramatically at the box office, apart from The Abyss, which was a financial success. Sorry, I was just looking at the cat. Which made about 90 million worldwide for the time. So 1989, 90 million is not pretty good. But bear in mind, like all James Cameron films, the budget was pretty big. So there were $69 million budget estimate, whereas something like Deep Star 6 had a $9 million budget, didn't get a worldwide release, so domestically they only got back 8.1 million. So not a financial success, but when you compare the two films just in terms of look, feel, obviously the acting as well, is a big difference. That's something that James Cameron does really well. The production design, so everything looks really, really good. There's a lot of detail, whereas with Deep Star 6, it kind of suffers on the details in terms of production design. Whereas The Abyss, you can really feel that claustrophobia. It looks real. But that being said, The Abyss storyline is a bit out there, where I find Deep Star 6's storyline is a little bit more believable. So if you aren't aware of The Abyss, so the storyline of The Abyss is a group of miners that are underwater get called by the US Navy to try and find a submarine that's gone missing before the Russians find it, and then they stumble upon aliens. Spoilers if you've had like 30-40 years to watch it, so it's your fault. Anyway, so there are aliens underneath the water doing some funky stuff, and it's all about the interaction between humans and First Contact and blah 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 blah. And the whole moral of the story is that humans are destroying the Earth and the aliens are going to destroy us to protect it. But yeah, as you know. Whereas with Deep Star 6, the story really is about a group of engineers underwater, similar situation, who are installing a military installation, or like in this cavern. And lo and behold, there is a giant monster crab thing living down there that they unleash when they blow up the cabin. In terms of story-wise, I know that's far-fetched as well, but it's a little bit more believable than The Abyss. I think The Abyss does a really good job of capturing that wonder, whereas the Deep Star 6 is really just like a creature feature. That being said, the creature effects in Deep Star 6, they got critically panned, but I actually don't mind the monster. The monster actually looks pretty well done. And yeah, it reminded me a bit of like Jaws, as you didn't see the creature for a very, very long time. They probably used that because of watching Jaws. But when you did see it, it was very minimal. Like you saw it. There's a really good scene midway through the film where a guy's being pulled out of the water in like a diver suit, or a giant diver suit thing, and the monster just comes out and cuts him in half. It was a pretty good scene, and you're not afraid, obviously, because back then I'm sure people probably were freaked out in the cinemas, but you're watching it now, you're like, cool scene, but it's not scary. Like most films from that era now don't. Yeah, we're going to go and watch Hereditary this week, and you compare that to The Exorcist now, and I don't think they can compare that well. They haven't aged as well, I guess. The horror films is what I'm trying to say. You may disagree, but as always, I want to hear opinions. But yeah, so Deep Star 6, 1989. It was a year of underwater films, and obviously after 1989 you saw other films come out, like you got Waterworld with Kevin Costner, which was another really bad. Oh, actually, I don't mind that film watching it now. A bit like The Postman. Didn't mind The Postman afterwards. But they got destroyed by critics at the time. So you had Waterworld, you had Sequest, which was a TV series that was produced by Steven Spielberg, which I loved. It was an awesome show. I might actually do a whole review on it, because that's how much I loved the Sequest. And then, yeah, you had Sphere in 1998, a little bit later on, but 1989 seemed to be the year to spawn all these high-budget underwater films. And my first film introduction to that was Deep Star 6. I would definitely recommend it to just to have a look, or I would recommend, if you could, get all 4 films, watch them all, and then see what you think. See if you agree, is what I would say. But if I had to pick it, obviously, The Abyss is up there as number 1 all-time underwater film. Deep Star 6 would be second for me. Oh, actually, it'd be that and Sphere. But anyway, let me know your thoughts, guys. This is just a really quick review. I just thought I'd let you know my thoughts on the matter. But a really interesting time. Okay, but we'll talk to you next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, leave me some comments or some messages, and we'll try and get back to you. Awesome. Have a great weekend, guys. I'm watching the World Cup. Bye.